Here I want to work with this motif, this phrase that we found in two transcriptions, in two solos, the solo by Joe Henderson and the solo by Michael Brecker. All right, two saxophonists, but two different eras, two different styles. They play both the same exact phrase. And this is what we call vocabulary. It's important to understand first what is going on. We have the arpeggio of it's a 2-5-1. The arpeggio of the 2 going down, and then this scale fragment, all right, targeting the third of the 1. So we start on the 7th of the minor 7 chord, then going to the 3rd. So first of all, this is the most foundational voice leading that you have in tonal harmony. The 7th goes to the 3rd. It could stay there, but really that's this motion here. So the backbone of this melody, it's G, F sharp, 7, 3rd. All right, so that's really what I want to emphasize here. It's that the melody, it's 7 going to the 3rd, and then going down, targeting the 3rd. So when I'm going to transpose that motif, I'm really going to think that, okay, 2-5-1, starting on the 7th, going down the arpeggio, and I hear this, right, 7, 3rd, 3rd. And notice that it's targeting every time a chord tone, the 7th, and then the 3rd, and then the 3rd. So I understand now how the phrase is constructed, and we can obviously transpose that. I'm going to show you a couple of ideas about this. But something that we rarely talk about is how you can transform that phrase, that melodic phrase, that motif. One thing you can do is rhythmic variations. So here it's just a stream of 8th notes. Here is the first variation. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've heard that before. Again, that's a vocabulary. So you see how it's the same idea, but with a little bit of rhythmic variations. Or variation number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4 16th notes. Or the third variation, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so no melodic variations here. Always the same notes in the same order, just rhythmic variation. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you transcribe a phrase, a motif that you like, try to investigate, experiment how you can transform it rhythmically. Now we can also try to transform it melodically. Here I just changed the E to E flat, so the flat 9. Or so here I changed also the shape of the melody, because now I'm going up. Or here. All right, so you see how here I change also the shape of the melody. So So here, 4 melodic variations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, now we can practice melodic and rhythmic variations at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, the targeted notes are the same. Or, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, my friend, is all coming from the very first motive that you've heard many times, at least twice, in the solo of Joe Henderson and Mike Brecker. And those variations that also you can find in many solos. And I just wrote those variations, but obviously there's an infinite numbers of variations that you can come up with. Before moving on, here I give you a couple of ideas to transpose a motive. So you can transpose a motive in different cycles, chromatically. Right, so going up a half step, that would be, and so on, or descending, and so on. Now you can also use other transposing cycles, whole tones, so going up, that means I'm going to A, then to B, D flat, E flat, and so on. It's just games to practice and make yourself faster. Going down, and so on. Minor thirds, that's cool. Going up or down. Minor third, going up. Or going down. Major thirds, going up. Or going down. Giant steps. Perfect fourth, and so on. Or here you could practice on the B section of Ricordame, which is kind of going down by step. But then down a half step. All right, so that's interesting. It's just to, break the habits and make your brain work. It's a good exercise. It's a good game. A few more ideas on how to develop a motif. You can fragment it. So the original motif. All right, and you fragment it, so you can take a fragment, some fragments, you fragment it, you break it down. Here I also played a little bit with the rhythm, so it's more musical. You can extend the motif. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally here I extended the motif a little bit, but mostly I went into a 16th note debit instead of 8th note debit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool. So very bebop, a lot of chromatic passing tone, but check it out. G, F sharp, B. Obviously, because I went into 16ths, and with chromatic, I had to add chromatic passing tones and displace those targeted notes, but they're still there. The 7th to the 3rd and to the 3rd. All right, so here are some ideas on how to really practice and develop a motive. Now, again, you don't have to practice all of those variations in all 12 keys, but when you come up with a motive that you like, when you practice a motive, so let's say you practice this one now because it's the motive from the course that we're studying this month, try to see how you can experiment with that motive and take 1, 2, 3 ideas of development, whether that's the fragmentation, the extension, the rhythmic variation, 1 or 2 ideas. All right, practice the motive, transpose it, and then transform it. Excellent exercise. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep swinging. Bye bye.